John, are you there? We need to talk. I want a divorce, so please don't make this more difficult than it needs to be.
Is that what those papers on the dining room table are all about?
That's right. I've already signed everything that I need to sign on them. So please, just do your part and then go submit them to the courthouse, okay?
Well, can I at least know why you want to end our marriage?
What do you mean?
What do you mean, what do I mean? I want to know why you want to get a divorce. I mean, you can't just drop all this on me and not give me a reason for any of it.
You really want me to tell you why I'm doing all of this?
Of course I do. I mean, we've barely even been married a year. What are we supposed to tell our parents about all of this? Not to mention the fact that we work at the same place. What are we supposed to tell all of our coworkers?
Oh, good point. What's a good way to tell them? I could just tell them the truth, I guess. But if I'm going to do that, then I guess I might as well just come clean to you as well. Don't you think? The truth is that I found someone else, and I want to leave you so that I can go and be with him.
I don't really get how you can be so casual about something so serious. What is the matter with you?
Why are you dragging this out so long? Is this about alimony money or something? If it's money that you want, my new man can pay you whatever you need to let this happen. In fact, you know who my new boyfriend is.
Let me guess. It's the CEO of our company, Ashton Rickles.
Wait, what? How did you guess that so quickly?
Well, you said that money was no object for this new man of yours, so I wondered who you might have known with that kind of wealth. And the only person I could think of was our big boss himself.
No, there is no way you just guessed that. Have you been following me or something?
Of course I haven't been doing anything like that. But the rumors are already flying around the office.
There are? Rumors like what?
It's not even just rumors. It's also the fact that plenty of people at work have already seen the two of you being all lovey-dovey with each other, too.
You mean people have seen Ashton and I together?
I mean, you two didn't really seem like you were trying to hide it the way you were always sneaking off into his office. I was wondering if you were hiding something, and it took just a little bit of scratching and asking around until I found out the truth.
But how did we get caught? Well, whatever. I guess that means I really don't need to explain anything else to you. Just name your price and Ashton will pay you off so that you can finally leave me.
You do know that he's also married, though, right?
Of course I know that. He's married to some old grandma, a whole 5 years older than me. That's why he went with the younger, prettier model. He told me he is going to tell his wife about us soon. So please, just hurry up and divorce me already.
I see. Well, okay then. If that's really what you want, I guess I'll do it.
Perfect! Thanks for making it so much easier than I thought it was going to be.
Hey, Dale. Do you have a second to talk? I wanted to just chat with you about earlier, if that's okay.
Yeah, of course. Did you think about it? Have you come to a decision?
I think so. I think I'm gonna go along with it.
That's awesome. This is great news.
Although, I think I might have to quit my job a bit earlier than I originally thought.
Oh, really? Well, I don't really mind about that, but have you told your wife? I mean, you're probably gonna have to tighten your belt just a little bit until things get off the ground, you know?
Well, the thing is that Naomi and I are actually going to get a divorce.
You're kidding me! You two are splitting up?
Yeah, I was gonna tell her about all of this, but then she told me that she was cheating on me. And she told me that the guy she was having an affair with was Ashton, the CEO of our company, who is also married, by the way.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess. I can see why you'd want to get out of there right away.
Exactly. I just can't work for a company where the boss treats his employees like this and has no respect for their personal lives.
I mean, I think it's a bit more extreme than even that. In fact, all this running around is probably gonna come back to bite him on the bottom line for this company.
Hey, Dale. Do you have a second to talk? I wanted to just chat with you about earlier, if that's okay.
Yeah, of course. Did you think about it? Have you come to a decision?
I think so. I think I'm gonna go along with it.
That's awesome. This is great news.
Although, I think I might have to quit my job a bit earlier than I originally thought.
Oh, really? Well, I don't really mind about that, but have you told your wife? I mean, you're probably gonna have to tighten your belt just a little bit until things get off the ground, you know?
Well, the thing is that Naomi and I are actually going to get a divorce.
You're kidding me! You two are splitting up?
Yeah, I was gonna tell her about all of this, but then she told me that she was cheating on me. And she told me that the guy she was having an affair with was Ashton, the CEO of our company, who is also married, by the way.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess. I can see why you'd want to get out of there right away.
Exactly. I just can't work for a company where the boss treats his employees like this and has no respect for their personal lives.
I mean, I think it's a bit more extreme than even that. In fact, all this running around is probably gonna come back to bite him on the bottom line for this company.
Hey, John, are you really going to quit the company?
Yep, it's true. I actually just handed in my letter of resignation. I'm just gonna prepare my files for the new person this week, and then after that, I'm out of here.
Well, I can't say that I really blame you for wanting to do that. But to think that you'd leave your career after all you've accomplished. Well, it's your life, not mine. Besides, I'm sure that seeing me every day and knowing that I'm now the wife of a powerful CEO would be just too much for you, huh? But now that means you've lost your wife and your job.
I really don't care about losing either of those things, though.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, I've already found another job, so I'm not really worried about my future at all.
Oh, really? Well, fine. I don't care. You and I are already divorced anyways. So, thanks for that. I asked Ashton to send you the money. It's only a matter of time until we have all our paperwork in order to be man and wife. Oh, John, guess what? I have a big announcement for you. Ashton and I are finally married. I'm never going to have to worry about money ever again. And even though we just officially married each other today, we've already been living together for so long that it feels like we've been husband and wife for ages. You have no idea what it's like living this life. It's all fancy lunches and amazing dinner at all the city's top restaurants. Not to mention the fact that we've already gotten to travel abroad twice now. And anything I want, I just have to say the word and Ashton makes sure I get it. It's like having a bottomless piggy bank. I should have done this a long time ago.
I was wondering why my phone was blowing up so much. Why am I not surprised that it was you this whole time? So I guess enough time has passed that you two are finally able to make things official, huh? Congrats on that.
Aw, thank you so much. It really is nice having all this money. I don't think I've ever been this happy.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. I'm just glad I quit before things turned really sour for the company.
What do you mean by that? Hey, John? pick up the phone right this second! I mean it! Answer me right now!
Oh my god. What is it now? You're calling your ex-husband an awful lot for someone who just got married.
That's not what I'm here to talk about. I want to know what is going on with our company. Why is our output so low now?
What do you mean?
I mean that I think something is seriously wrong over here. But I remember that you said you were glad you left before things got really bad. So you must have known something. Tell me what's happening right now!
I don't know what you mean. I just had a hunch, that's all.
Are you kidding me right now?
I'm not. Just think about it for a second. A married CEO was having an affair with the wife of one of his employees. Do you think people are just gonna let that slide? Not only that, but you were also complicit in all of this. And the two of you were sneaking around all over the building, treating it like your personal love nest or something. Do you really think a company run by someone so awful could really go on for much longer?
What do you mean? I still don't get it!
I mean, I didn't know anything was gonna happen. I was just reading the signs. If you really want to know why business is so bad, why don't you go ask your new husband instead?
But he is always in such a bad mood whenever I try to talk to him. And he never listens to what I have to say.
Well, don't come grumbling to me. I can't do anything for you. Anyways, I have a meeting this afternoon. I gotta get ready for. Goodbye.
Yo, John, you there? I hear that your old work is going to replace the CEO. Apparently that Ashton guy was deemed unprofessional by the board of trustees, so they're bringing in someone with more experience. But did you hear that that person is actually Ashton's own ex-wife?
Oh, wow. I knew that she worked as a corporate consultant, but I had no idea that Ashton was being let go.
Yeah, basically having him as the face of the company after his affair with Naomi was doing terrible things for them in the press, so they had to replace him. Except in the meantime, I've been able to poach some of Ashton's top employees away from that place. We pretty much have a fully functional staff with all the experience that we were looking for.
Well, that makes sense. The business you started is basically in the same field as my old work. And the timing couldn't have been better, since you're thinking of expanding and hiring.
Be a little more excited, man. This isn't just about me. I couldn't have done any of this without you. I seriously owe you a huge one, and I mean it. If you need anything, just tell me.
I'll be sure to do that, Dale. I really do appreciate the kind words.
And thanks again so much.
John, did you move?
How many times are you gonna text me? I thought I was through with you.
I heard that about a month ago you were promoted to vice president of your company. Is that really true?
And just who told you that?
Please, just tell me where you live. Ashton and I got a divorce 3 days ago. I was thinking that maybe I could live with you until we were able to get married again.
Please tell me this is some kind of joke or something right now.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that I heard you two got a divorce, but why do you think I'd invite a parasite like you back into my life?
What did you just call me? What kind of way is that to talk to someone begging you to take them back?
Oh, please. I bet you've been desperate for money ever since the divorce. You're probably swimming in debt right now and looking for someone to clean up your mess for you.
But how did you know all of that?
I heard from your parents about how after your divorce, someone broke into their house and stole their valuables as well as debit and credit cards. They only suspect one person for now. But now you try and get me involved in this. I'm not interested in getting revenge on you, but I have no intention of helping you either.
please don't be like this.
I'm also not going to tell you where I'm living right now. You got yourself into this mess. It's your mess to get yourself out of.
John, please don't do this.
Don't ever contact me again. After that, I blocked Naomi on every platform that I could think of. I couldn't believe the kind of nonsense that she tried to pull with me. And more importantly, I couldn't believe that she stole from her own family. I knew that it was best just to not involve myself in the situation at all. Meanwhile, Naomi was rather famous as the cheating wife of the cheating CEO that ruined the reputation of his company. He had a very difficult time finding work after her divorce. I have no idea what she's doing now. Honestly, I prefer it that way. As for me, business is going along as usual. I'm busy every day as vice president, but I'm making sure to try and foster a healthy work environment, where those in power don't think they can lord it over those who are working under them.
Zoe, my love, when are you going to tell your father about us? We've been together for 2 years, and you still insist we keep our relationship a secret.
I'm just not ready to tell him yet. You know how controlling he is. If he doesn't approve of you and me, we both know he'll do anything and everything to make things go his way.
I'm not afraid of him, and neither should you. I know he's the only family you have left, but you shouldn't let his opinion stop you from living your life.
You're right, Matt. I just don't know how I'm gonna tell him, or even how I'm gonna bring it up. I'm so scared he's gonna get angry and lash out at me.
I don't want to keep our lives in the shadows, though. I want our relationship to be out in the open. I want to marry you in front of a church full of people and express our love to the world.
You know I want that too. I just don't know how to break the silence.
How about this? What if I spoke to your father? I'll tell him about us and ask him for his blessing to marry you.
You would do that? You know how much it would mean to me if we had my father's blessing.
I would do anything for you, Zoe. Good morning, sir. You don't know me, but I'd like to introduce myself to you. My name's Matthew Smith, and I'm dating your daughter. Nope, you must have the wrong number. My daughter isn't seeing anyone, and even if she was, she would have told me about it. That's exactly why I'm contacting you, sir. Your daughter, Zoe Young, and I have been together for 2 years now, and we've been dating in secret because she's been afraid to tell you. Is this some sort of joke? Are you trying to prank me? Not at all, Mr. Young. I've been trying to get Zoe to tell you about us for months now, but she hasn't been able to work up the courage. She has a lot of respect for you, sir, and never wanted to do anything to displease you. So she thought keeping a secret boyfriend was a better idea? Well, not exactly. She just couldn't find the right time to tell you. And she thought that a random boy sending me messages telling me he's been dating my daughter for 2 years was the right way to do it? No, sir. This was my idea. I wanted to take matters into my own hands and introduce myself to you. And why would you wait so long to try and introduce yourself to me? In any case, this isn't much of an introduction. You would have made a better first impression if you had come and met me, face to face. I understand, Mr. Young, but I was only trying to please Zoe and her wishes. So, why have you decided to spring this on me now? Well, the thing is, I did want to ask you this in person, but I'd like to ask for your blessing for your daughter's hand in marriage. Are you crazy? Absolutely not. I'm not going to let my baby girl marry some strange man. I'm not some strange man. Sir, I've known your daughter for over 3 years. And as I mentioned, we've been together officially for 2 of them. This is ludicrous. There's no way I'm going to let my daughter marry someone I don't know. And not that it has anything to do with you, but I've already arranged to give my daughter to another man. What? What do you mean you're going to give her to another man? I've arranged for her to marry someone else, someone that I know and approve of. Zoe never told me she was supposed to have an arranged marriage. That's because I haven't told her yet. I was still finalizing all of the arrangements, but now everything's ready, and I'm marrying her off next month. I was actually going to break the news to her today. Break the news? You can't just tell someone out of nowhere that they're getting married in a month. You obviously don't know how arranged marriages work, son. No, of course I know what an arranged marriage is. I just mean you can't marry off Zoe to someone else. I love her. Well, that's just a pity then, isn't it? You asked for my blessing, and I've denied it. Now, if you know what's good for you, kid, you'll forget about me and my daughter and move on with your life. I can't just forget about Zoe. You can't do this. I will find a way to be with her. Don't waste your time, boy. Break the news? You can't just tell someone out of nowhere that they're getting married in a month. You obviously don't know how arranged marriages work, son. No, of course I know what an arranged marriage is. I just mean you can't marry off Zoe to someone else. I love her. Well, that's just a pity then, isn't it? You asked for my blessing, and I've denied it. Now, if you know what's good for you, kid, you'll forget about me and my daughter and move on with your life. I can't just forget about Zoe. You can't do this. I will find a way to be with her. Don't waste your time, boy.
Matthew? I haven't heard from you in over a week. We usually talk every day. What's going on? I really need to talk to you.
Zoe, my love, I'm so sorry I haven't been able to see you or even spoken to you in a while. You won't believe what happened to me.
What is it?
I don't know if he told you, but I spoke to your father. He refused to give us his blessing and told me if I knew it was good for me, I'd forget about you and move on. Then later that day, I was walking to the store, and a couple of cops tackled me down, beat me up, and arrested me.
What? What did they arrest you for?
That's the thing. They arrested me for armed robbery, and their reasoning for being forceful and roughing me up was that I was listed as armed and dangerous.
But you hate guns. And when would you even have time to rob a place? I know you've been working extra shifts to save up.
Exactly. Plus, I'd never rob somebody of something they've worked hard to get. I've learned from my brother's mistakes to stay on the right side of the law.
That's true too.
Anyway, so that's where I've been the last couple of days. They locked me up for investigation. Thankfully, my dad was there and could bail me out.
I was just gonna ask what your dad thought about all this.
He definitely thinks something fishy's going on, because my record is clean as a whistle. But never mind that now. What did you need to talk to me about?
Unfortunately, it's more bad news.
That reminds me, I also have something I need to talk to you about, but you go first.
My father is trying to have me go through with an arranged marriage, but obviously I don't want to go through with it. I want to marry you.
That's exactly what I needed to talk to you about. When I spoke to your father, he told me that he had already promised you to another man, and that he had just finished with the final preparations for it. I was thinking of how I was going to tell you, but then I was jumped by the cops and didn't have access to my phone.
What are we gonna do? I don't want to marry a strange old man, but the more I go against my father, the earlier he brings the wedding date forward. He's already made it so that the wedding is due to take place in just 10 days.
Don't worry, my love. I will think of something to get us out of this mess. Soon we'll be free of your father and we'll be able to do as we please. Just give me some time to think of a plan.
Okay, my dear Matthew, I will wait to hear from you. In the meantime, I'm gonna steer clear of my father, and fear that he moves the wedding up sooner.
I'll think of something, I promise. Didn't you learn your lesson, kid? Was one beating not enough for you? What are you talking about, Mr. Young? How did you know about that? Isn't it obvious? I told you to forget about my daughter and stay away. But still, I see you're still in contact with her. How did you know I've spoken with Zoe? You really aren't that sharp, are you? I have her phone tapped, so I know about everything she says and does. And just as well, I can't let my daughter run off with a scoundrel like you. I'm not a scoundrel, sir. In fact, I believe I'm quite a good suit for your daughter. I've been working hard and saving all my money so that I can give Zoe the life that she deserves. Zoe deserves the life I have planned for her. She needs a rich husband who's going to look after her, and of course me. What do you mean, look after you? Well, I'm not going to give my daughter away for nothing. It's only right I get something back in return. You can't sell your daughter. Oh, relax. It's not like I'm selling her to the highest bidder. Although that would have been a good idea if I'd thought of it earlier. I'm simply getting something in exchange for her. Think of it as a thank you present. I'm a man with a lot of respect, and I love your daughter, so this is hard for me to say, but you're crazy. You're actually trying to sell your daughter? What's in it for you anyway? What is your daughter worth to you? Well, I wouldn't be telling you this, but I know you're not going to be a threat to my plan. The gentleman who's interested in Zoe has offered me one of his largest mansions in return for her hand in marriage. I can't believe this. You're happy to give your daughter away to some creepy old guy? And not someone who truly loves her just because he's gonna give you a house? A very big house, son. And in any case, love isn't everything. There are finer things in life that money can buy. And you can't get anything for love. You can't be serious. Dead serious. Now run along, boy. You leave my daughter alone and things will be okay for you. What do you mean by that? Are you threatening me? All I'm saying, kid, is that I have friends in high places. Things get done at just the snap of my fingers. So keep your nose clean and away from my daughter. Hey, son, I've been working with some of my men to figure out how you got framed for this armed robbery, and I think we've got someone pulling strings on the inside. There's no other plausible reason that there can be this much evidence against you. Thanks for working so hard to clear my name, Dad. I've had my guard up since then, staying vigilant for anyone who might have a vendetta against me. But all I've got has been some distasteful threats from Zoe's father. What? Threats? Why didn't you say something earlier? I didn't think much of them. I figured he's just a crazy old man who's money hungry, and just wants to scare me away from his daughter. Tell me what kind of threats he made, Matthew. He just said something about keeping my nose clean and staying away from Zoe because he has friends in high places. As I said, I didn't think much of it. He can't scare me away from the love of my life, just with a few empty threats. Son, you've been framed for a very serious offense. You're just lucky I'm the station commander, and I was able to have you released on bail. Any threats, no matter how insignificant they may seem, should be taken seriously. Now tell me more about Zoe's father. What do you know about him? Not much, actually. I just know his name is Dave Young, and that he's a money-hungry pig, but, I mean, that's just my opinion. That name rings a bell. I'm gonna look into him. You stay safe out there, son. I'll do my best, Dad.
Thought of a brilliant plan for us to run away and be together yet? The wedding date is less than a week away.
I'm working on it, but I can't tell you here over the phone. My dad's looking into a lead on the case, but I can't say much more than that.
Why are you being so short and mysterious? Why can't you tell me what's going on?
Your father's tapped your phone, Zoe. He can see all the messages you send and receive, as well as the calls you make. He's probably even able to listen in on your phone call conversations, too.
What? How do you know this?
He told me himself. He tried to threaten me to get me to stay away from you, but I'm not going to give up without a fight. Don't you worry, my love. I will find a way for us to be together.
Just hurry. If he sees this, like you say he can, he might move the wedding sooner.
Cracked your case, son. As it turns out, your girlfriend's father's the corrupt officer we've been trying to snuff out. He's the one who manipulated those two cops to beat you up and arrest you on false charges. Are you serious? I would have told you sooner, but we made a bust on him today. We took him down for corruption and bribery and cleared your name for those offenses. And will you believe it, we did a search on his computer and found out the reason he'd been in such a rush to marry Zoe off. I know, he was supposed to get a mansion from this rich guy, in return for Zoe, the sick creep. That's not all. Zoe's father's been after her inheritance that her mother left her. We found emails that went back and forth between him and a lawyer. He was trying to find a way to get access to the money. He couldn't find a loophole in the documents, but instead found a hidden clause that stated if Zoe got married before she finished her studies, she wouldn't be liable for her inheritance, and everything would automatically go to him. I told you he was a money-hungry pig. I can't believe this. Not only was he selling off his daughter, but he was also trying to scam her out of her own inheritance? Some people are just corrupt, son. Just as well, we caught him when we did. My officers have come forward and confessed that he'd been blackmailing them, and was even trying to get me fired so that he could take my place. And to think I was polite to him and tried to be courteous, asking for his blessing to marry Zoe. All that man deserves is a cold, dark prison cell. If I have anything to do with it, that's exactly what he's gonna get.
I can't believe my dad's been doing such horrible things. And even to me, His own daughter.
I'm so sorry, Zoe. I had no idea this would go this way.
No, don't apologize. I had no idea either. I don't feel bad about it anyway. He was never really a nice father to me.
Clearly not. The guy was trying to sell you off to who seemed like a more decent man than your father.
I know, I still can't believe that he's been so generous. I mean, to gift us a brand new car as an apology is unbelievable.
He really was very apologetic to us when he found out that we were a couple. He even seemed disappointed in himself for interfering in our relationship.
It really wasn't his fault, though. It was my manipulative father who was taking advantage of him and me.
That's true, but that's all in the past now. We can go on with our lives without interference from anybody.
Thank you for sticking with me, even when my father tried to threaten you and had you beat up. I love you.
I wouldn't have it any other way. I'd walk to the end of the earth for you, because I love you too. And I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you.
I can't wait either.
After my father arrested Zoe's father, he was charged with multiple offenses, including police brutality, corruption, blackmailing, and bribery of police officers. He was sentenced to several years in prison, and my father has made it his goal to make sure he serves every day without parole. As for Zoe and me, we decided to wait for her to finish her studies before getting married. Since we found out about the clause in her mother's will pertaining to her inheritance, we didn't want to jeopardize her receiving it. When she received her inheritance, Zoe decided to use a portion of it to throw us the wedding of our dreams. We also decided to sell the car we got as an apology and use some of the money for our honeymoon. With the rest of the money from the car and Zoe's inheritance, we were able to buy ourselves a small family home in that we can start our new lives together. Life has been good to us.